Hey guys, it's Lindsay here with another video. So hopefully by now you know why we think kids are so important in KidVenture and what we think it looks like for kids to be growing in a thriving relationship with Jesus. I also hope by now that you've taken time to look at our policy and procedural manual, which helps to create set expectations for volunteers, kids, and parents as to what Sunday should look like and how we care for our children in a consistent manner. But what I want to talk to you guys about here, real quick though, are some of our priorities in KidVenture. So, in the midst of making sure our kids are learning to love Jesus, these are more about how do we think about Sundays in general. And these priorities aren't just for the kids, but they're also for you guys and for our parents. Think about KidVenture as kind of like a three-legged stool. Where kids, and the parents and you guys, we all need to be investing in you guys, and we all need to have kind of the same priorities in order to have a firm foundation. And so the first priority in KidVenture is always going to be safety. Now, I know you guys are thinking, but wait, it should be Jesus. Here's the deal. Yes, it is Jesus. It's always Jesus. But the reality is if kids, parents, or even if you guys don't feel safe, we're not going to be able to learn and to teach, right? So if we're not worried about safety, if parents don't feel like, hey, we're going to take good care of their kids, they're going to opt out of our program. If kids don't feel safe, if there's like a kid that constantly is hurting other kids and we're not doing anything to remove them from the environment, kids aren't going to want to come. They're going to be scared. And so we need to provide. And if you guys feel like, hey, like Lindsay doesn't have my back, or like, again, I have to deal with this kid that I don't know how to do, like manage, like if I don't know how to manage this child and connect well with them to get them to engage in our programming, like if you guys don't feel safe, then you're not going to be able to learn or to teach or anything else. So safety is always our first priority, which is why I spend probably a lot of my time talking about safety, because if everyone feels safe, you're able to learn and have fun. And that like goes into our second priority, which is actually fun. Um, I think learning about Jesus can be fun. Kids are actually wired for fun, and believe it or not, as kids have fun, it actually helps them to develop connections with you, with like you guys, with each other, with the lesson, with Jesus. And so we can actually, the great thing about kids is we can actually use fun to help be a connection tool between everything that we are learning. And often, I mean, how many times do we hear parents when they pick up their kids, hey, did you have fun today? Because they want to know if their kids are having fun. I mean, if a kid is, you know, and I know this like occasionally happens no matter how much fun our program is, but like, if kids are kicking and screaming every Sunday morning and parents are having to pull out every single bribe or trick or whatever, at some point they may just decide, like, hey, like, let's find another program that fits us better. And so, fun is actually just a really great way to, um, yeah, so we just want to make sure that what we do is fun, that kids are enjoying their time, that they want to come, that they want to participate. And what's hard though is fun looks different for every kid, right? So, fun could be, hey, we're sitting and coloring, or we could be playing Foursquare, or we could be having a great conversation. Some kids might like great conversations or maybe the worship. And so that's the great thing about what we do on Sundays, is because we provide such a variety of programming, is that we hopefully can hit that fun little marker for each of our kids, and even for you guys. Like, get fun, have silly, be silly in the lesson. We were just talking about all the different things we're thankful for, and we were going through the alphabet, and it was W, and I'm like Wookie, and all the kids are like, all the girls are like, what? And all the boys are like, yes. So it's just a great way to bring fun into what we're doing, and just help connect me to the kids and the kids to the lesson of what we're learning about. The other thing is we want to see growth. So again, we've already talked about that a little bit with our KidVenture values, but we want to see our kids growing in relationship with Jesus, right? So the great thing is by having a fun environment, is it helps to give the kids, it actually helps them want to go deep. It helps them make them want to build a relationship with others and with Jesus. So by having fun, we can then go into the death part where hopefully we see the kids growing in a relationship with Jesus. But here's the deal. It's not just about the kids. I want you guys to be growing in your own relationship with Jesus, right? Like, we can't teach the kids something we don't have. Now, it's okay. Listen, if you guys are like, hey, I'm only here with Jesus, like I'm still figuring this out for myself. You guys, that is okay. God can use where we're at with the kids, but don't try to be like, oh, well, I'm up here when really you're down here. And don't hold yourself back here. Don't put yourself down here if you're really up here. Like, that's okay. We're all growing. And, throughout the course of the year, you guys are going to hear from me, like, about different things happening with the life of the church that I may push you guys towards, or I may be like, hey, like, have you done these processes? Have you gone through these classes or these courses in life of our church? This is why Fuel and Focus is so important, because it gives us an opportunity to not only do we pray, but occasionally I'll pull out different spiritual practices that we'll try together as a team. So the reality is we all want to continue to grow and to learn. I'm continuing to growing and learning. And as long as I think we're continuing to grow and committing to being willing to grow and to learn, I think that's great. Um, so yeah, so relationships with Jesus, but then also then in relationship with each other, right? So, life happens in circles. We have to be in community, and our kids need community just as much as we do. So that's why we focus a lot about small groups. That's why we have our events, so that it gives them a chance to connect. The kids can connect with each other, and also, you guys, we want to see, are our parents connecting in community with each other? If we have a new family and they are not connecting in community, they're probably not going to stay in our church. They want community just as much. So that's why I'm always telling you guys, hey, here's what's happening in the life of the church, so that you can let parents know, like, hey, come to this event, get connect with other families. Hey, life circles are happening. We have this parenting class or whatever. Like, this is a way for them to connect with parents that are in like-minded stages, so that they can connect and hopefully develop friendships and community. And the same with you guys. So that's why I ask, are you guys in life circles? Are you participating in these things? Come to these events to connect with parents and with other volunteers. These are just great ways for you guys to connect and um, to our community. And then last but not least is actually, are we intentionally connecting with our parents, right? So are we connecting with Jesus? Are we connecting with the kids? And then are we connecting with the parents, right? So part of our job on Sundays, yes, we want to teach the kids, and that is the main portion of what we do. But part of what we want to do is, are we helping to equip our parents, right? A lot of our parents are growing up being like, hey, I don't know what it looks like to disciple my kids in Jesus. They're down here too in their relationship with Jesus. They're like, I don't even know what I think about this. And then we're asking questions of their kids that the parents are like, I've never even stopped to consider that. And so it's a great way to just even quick, like as kids are picking up, like, hey, we had this great interaction with your child, or like, hey, we asked your kids this big question today. Talk to them at home. Like, what do you guys think about it? If you guys don't know, I do a lot of stuff on social media trying to connect parents with, like, hey, here's what your kid learned on Sunday. Here's how you can further this at home. So lots of different ways to connect with our parents. When we go to events, it's always fun to see kids and parents, like just a chance to talk and connect with them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and hopefully, hopefully this helps you guys as you serve in KidVenture.